Hello, today we're going to be talking about the most common played sport in the world. Spread across every continent and engraved in all cultures is the game of soccer. Soccer, football, whatever you call it, it all refers to the same game, near and dear to many hearts around the world. For the sake of this presentation, however, I'm going to be referring to it as football, as it's the most common name and only exclusively called soccer in the United States. So let's get our game plan for today. Today, we're going to first be looking at the history of soccer, where it came from, when it first originated, and how it's developed into the game it is today. Next, we're going to tackle the fundamentals of soccer, labeling the tricks and rules there are within the game. And last, we're going to slide into acknowledging the best football players of all time, labeling our top 3. So let's head on into it, shall we? First, we have the history of soccer. Soccer, according to snapsoccer.com, first originated in 206 BC, China, where Chinese soldiers were first seen playing Tuishu in order to complete their regiments during the Han Dynasty. Tuishu is the first known game where players were only allowed to use their feet. Goals were made with bamboo elevated 30 feet in the air with a net dangling down. This idea of a game where players were only allowed to use their feet spread across the world, and in the medieval times, England, a game was designed called Futbol. Futbol had very little rules, but the objective of the game was to place the ball in a designated area using only one's feet. There was very few rules and regiments for the game, leading to its ban in the 14th century. But in 1863, England, the games for football were officially drawn up in order to design the organized game we know today. And by 1872, the first FA Cup was played. And by 1888, the Football League was formed with 128 teams participating. England's love for football rubbed off on all of its neighboring European countries and eventually spread to Latin America. Football is still most prominent in Europe and Latin America, but is the most common sport played around the globe. Now that we understand the history of soccer, let's tackle the fundamentals of the game. Now, I won't lie, the rules of soccer may be a lot to juggle. Now, however, the basics are simple. According to the American Youth Soccer Organization, the basic regiments one needs for soccer is a field, a ball, 2 teams and their equipment, and 3 refs, 1 center and 2 sideline refs. The field is about 70 to 80 yards in width and 110 to 120 yards in length. All soccer players need to wear shin guards, boots, also known as cleats, and soccer socks, which cover their shin pads, shin guards. There are 11 players on each team at all times, and all these 11 players can use different formations, but all include a goalkeeper, which is the only player allowed to use their hands, only in their designated area of the goal box. In front of the goalkeeper, we have a back line, and in front of the back line, we have a midfield, and finally up front, we have at least 1 forward. Some basic rules that all of these players follow are never touching the ball with their hands, no pushing or grabbing of any jerseys. However, football is a very physical game, and there's a ton of shouldering and nudging of players. However, defensive players are not allowed to push or extend their arm in any way, shape, or form. The objective of the game is pretty simple: put the ball in the other team's goal. However, this may seem like a pretty easy concept. It's very difficult, as it's the other team's goal to win the ball back and counterattack the other team's goal. Soccer is a game of precision, athleticism, and quick speed of thought. Now that we understand the fundamentals of soccer, let's move on to acknowledging the best to ever play the game, who are anything but basic. According to sportsnots.com, due to the amount of statistics and awards, the number 3 best player of all time is number 7, the Portuguese superstar, Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is an astounding athlete with numerous different qualities. He has personally won 5 Ballon d'Or awards, which is the award given to the best player of the year. He also holds the Champions League record for most assists and career goals. And even though Ronaldo is 36 years old, the athlete shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Now, working our way up the field at number 2, we have Lionel Messi. Rocking the jersey number 10, the Argentinian is said to be the best talent to put a foot on the ball. Messi holds 6 Ballon d'Or awards, which is the most ever, and He holds the most Ballon d'Or awards ever, and even though the Argentinian has recently moved to the French club of Paris Saint-Germain, he spent most of his successful career at the Spanish club of Barcelona. So now that we understand these top two, let's move on to the best of all time, Pelé. Known for being voted the best player of the 20th century, Pelé holds the most assists in FIFA World Cup history and has the most career goals of all time on the planet with 1,279 career goals. Now, even though Pelé has since retired in 1977, his dedicated legacy of becoming a young street player to the best of the 20th century will live on in history. Now let's cool down in order to recap what we've learned today. Today we've learned the 3 aspects of soccer everyone should know. We learned about the history of soccer, where it came from, when it first originated, and how it's developed into the game it is today. Next, we tackled the fundamentals of soccer, labeling the rules and tricks there are within the game. And last, we slid into talking about the top 3 of all time. Now, soccer impacts billions of people's lives around the globe today, and I hope that you can all now acknowledge and understand this beautiful game as it continues to rapidly spread across the globe and embark in numerous different cultures, including our very own. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a striking rest of your day.